The following content is for entertainment purposes only. All of the voices in this video and this disclaimer were generated using artificial intelligence and are not actual quotes of the persons depicted. This content is purely satirical and is in no way a political advertisement or contains any political bias. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of The Presidents Predict the 2024 Stanley Cup Playoffs. Today, we will fill out our bracket and come to a decision on who we think will win the Stanley Cup.
It's obviously going to be my Dallas Stars. The World Series trophy and the Stanley Cup will both call Texas their home very shortly. Just make them champions and let's wrap this video up. We got crystal footage to film after all.
Not so fast there, Bush. Let's not forget that Vegas beat Dallas all 3 times this season. They have a curse over them, and I think Vegas is going to take this series.
I have to agree with Donald on this one. They only scored 4 goals in the 3 games against Vegas, and let's also not forget their long-term injured reserve merchants getting Mark Stone back. Vegas gets the upset.
Sorry, George, but I'm betting on the Knights as well right here. Pete DeBoer is a horrible playoff coach, and the Knights are playoff proven. It's another disappointment for Dallas. Up next, we have the Jets and the Avalanche in what should be a very close series. Winnipeg only had 3 more points.
Are you fucking kidding me? Now this bracket's cooked, I'm out of here.
Don't be like that, George. How about we let you make the decision for this series to make it even?
Fine, give me the Avalanche in 6. Goaltending can't carry the Jets forever.
Very bipartisan of both of you. I can see you've been reading Art of the Deal, Joe. I'm also good with this decision because fuck Canada. Next up, we have the Canucks and the Predators. And despite what I just said, Vancouver is going to smack Nashville around and quickly.
Yeah, we don't need to waste time with this one. Also, thank you for not making the obvious joke with Biden. There, Donald. And finally, in the Western Conference first round, we have the Oilers taking on the Kings. I don't see any way Los Angeles can stop that Edmonton attack personally.
I have a Connor McDavid poster in my bedroom, so I say the Oilers as well.
The Kings are developing as a team pretty nicely, but Edmonton is just too good for them right now. I agree with the Oilers as well, setting up a series with Canada's best hopes of a cup in round 2.
I'm really liking the West bracket we have set up. Does anyone have an issue with both the Knights and Avalanche in 6 as well as the Canucks and Oilers in 5?
Other than the one obvious one, pick I'm not going to get, I'm fine with all of that. Let's get through these easy Metropolitan matchups next so we can move on to the bloodbath known as the Atlantic. Canes and Rangers move on easily against 2 teams that had negative goal differentials.
Agreed, George. Just give the Rangers and the Hurricanes a bye. Canes will skate circles around the slow as shit Islanders, and the Capitals only made the playoffs because nobody else wanted to.
While the winners are probably not in doubt, you have to remember that the Stanley Cup playoffs are a fight in every round. There's something to say about the toughness of the Islanders since the coaching change and the goaltending of Charlie Lindgren for Washington.
Well said, Joe. I think both the Hurricanes and the Rangers are set on a collision course for each other in round 2, but it won't be as easy as they say. But next up, this is where the fun begins going forward, and I'm going to kick it off by saying the Leafs finally beat Boston.
And you just lost your mouse privileges. Bruins always beat the Leafs in 7. Moving on, it's the Lightning against the Panthers. My pick for the best series of the first round, and I'll pick Florida's suffocating defense to beat the weakest Tampa Bay we've seen in a long time.
Sorry, Donald, but the Lightning fans are going to take over Sunrise and the Panthers are getting upset here.
I have to side with Joe. This is going to be a repeat of 2021. Lightning move on.
I'll take that mouse back, Donald. And you know what? I was going to pick the Panthers, but just to spite you for dismissing me on the Leafs, I'm going with the Lightning to complete our first round picks. I'll give the Canes a sweep. The Rangers in 5 and the 2 Atlantic series go 7.
You petty bitch. I'll remember that for the future rounds. You'll all see the Panthers are going to the East Final at the absolute worst. But seeing I'm overruled, I'll move on to the Knights and Avalanche series. Vegas is good, but their hex is over Dallas. Not Colorado. Avalanche advance.
I'm still salty about the first round, so fuck any team you think would beat Dallas. Get the hell out of this bracket, Vegas.
I'm going to pick Vegas because I love their pregame shows. They're so fun and I want to see them more than in just the first 2 rounds.
Joe, those shows are incredibly cringe, and I'm going with Colorado as well, just because I want to see those cap-manipulating assholes meet an early end. Colorado to the conference final.
You guys are no fun, but for their opponent, I'm going to pick Edmonton because I think this series is going to be an absolute shootout where defense is hard to find. I'll take their goal scoring over Vancouver's.
I pick both teams to lose, so that Canada goes another year without the Stanley Cup.
Seeing it doesn't work that way, you're throwing away your vote, I assume. I think the Canucks are more well-rounded, and they will send the Oilers home on that reason alone. It's the same reason they lose every year.
Sorry, Obama, but I think that's the reason they lose next round. Vancouver is still very new to the playoffs, so I'll take Edmonton's experience.
Woohoo, thanks, George. Does this mean you also agree with me on Carolina beating the Rangers?
Sorry, Joe, but Freddie can't beat Shesty. Rangers knocked them off in round 2 again.
PNC Arena will become Madison Square Garden South again, and the Rangers will beat them.
We might be looking at the 2 best teams in the league right here. But you two are right. The Rangers have better goaltending, and the Canes had to block New Yorkers buying tickets 2 years ago. I'll say New York beats Carolina.
Appreciate the validation, Obama, for their opponent. How about the third East final between New York and Tampa in 10 years?
I'm sorry, George, but I think it's going to be Boston. The Bolts are just way too inconsistent.
Joe, if I give you an ice cream cone later, will you abstain your vote?
Of course I will, Donald. Easiest deal I ever made.
Thank you very much, Sleepy Joe. And now I think I'll get my revenge on you for sending the Panthers home early. Boston loses, and so do you, Obama. Hold this L.
Whatever. Not the biggest deal. But if you really want to be petty that bad, so that my pick loses, then so be it. For the Western Conference champion, I'm going to pick Colorado, and I know you are too Bush for the exact same reason. What about you two?
Connor McDavid, all the way. They may be the Western Conference Maple Leafs, but this is the year they finally break through.
I'm sorry about your crush, Joe, but those guys are right. The Oilers just aren't a complete team, and the Avalanche are deeper. Colorado wins the West, and I'll say the Rangers win the East. Third time is the charm for them against the Lightning.
How could you do this to me, Donald? I thought we had something special. I picked the Lightning for that.
Can we please drop the pettiness seeing how close we are to the end? Holy shit. But I'm going to go with the Rangers. The Lightning just aren't the team they were when they won those cups.
Since I picked the Rangers to beat Carolina, who I think were the second best team remaining in this bracket we made, I have to go with the Rangers winning the cup and by proxy beating Tampa Bay right here. Should be a fun series, but the Blue Shirts finally beat the Bolts.
I'll say the Rangers over the Avalanche, so everybody stops talking about that stupid President's Trophy curse. It's just a fucking coincidence.
They won both against Colorado in the regular season, and they would have been really battle-tested already if they made it to this point. So that's good enough of a reason for me to crown the Rangers the champs.
Seeing you guys got to pick the winner, I'm picking the tiebreaker amount, and I'll say 25 goals. I think with the way these teams played each other both times this year, that's a fair total.
Sounds good to me, Joe, and I want to thank everyone
make it
for
30.
Okay then, 30 it is. But once again, thank you again, everyone, for 4.
Obama, why the hell are you stuttering like Biden? Save the bracket and say goodbye to everyone.
I'm fucking trying to. Do you not see this error message that keeps popping up for no reason whatsoever? This website is just as broken as Gary Bettman.
While Obama battles this website, I'll just take this responsibility off his plate and say goodbye to everyone out there. Thanks again for joining us for this special episode, and we'll see you for episode 12 of Crystal on Thursday. Have a great weekend, everyone.
This website fucking sucks.